Yo, what's up, man? Been a minute, man. But I'm good, y'all. I'm good. Sorry I ain't short for a while, man. Just been up to some personal stuff, man. Just been working on some personal stuff. Also working on the machine, man. Machine got, you gotta work on the machine, man. You know. So yeah, man, I'm back at it. So hope y'all are good. But man, life is tough with this COVID shit. Like, it is truly a new normal, man. It's a new normal. So yeah, man, let me get right into it. So this here video I titled two major takeaways. Two major takeaways from this whole COVID thing, Dr. Fauci and the whole COVID thing, right? So yeah, man. Oh shit. Oh, sorry guys. Just had a little technical glitch, but we back. So yeah, two major takeaways from the COVID. I think first, this thing damn exposed how unequal we are in this world, man. Like, completely. Like, I don't even gotta say much. Like, we see it, guys. Like, I've been out in the streets and I spend a lot of time on my spare time. Probably spend my spare time with ordinary people, right? And man, I see this shit affected their lives so much, you know, and I think that's why even the drinking levels are so high now because people are frustrated. But thing is, out here in the third world, they don't really talk about it, right? Like, they ain't got no time for that therapy, motivation, bullshit at times, especially the ordinary people. You can't really blame them, right? I mean, well, now I would say I consider myself an ordinary person, maybe because I'm out in the streets trying to grind, you know. Hustle is slow, not many opportunities currently. But fortunately, I kind of like, maybe I have an education background. So, I mean, that's why, like, maybe even if I'm depressed, like, it won't lead me to the edge. So I feel for these people, and I feel, guys, we gotta be out there for each other because deep down this shit affected us all, man. But we, excuse me, we tend to wanna hide it and not wanna talk about it, right? But then again, on the brighter side, like I was saying, this shit exposed the inequality, right? But on the brighter side, I feel like it also exposed, or not even exposed. Well, it exposed the phonies and the fakeness, in the world. And it's ushering in a new age of authenticity, guys. Authenticity in the sense that, like, like for instance, that time when, we were on the lockdown and, nobody was allowed to go anywhere throughout the world, like that period, man. Like, whether you had a Mercedes Benz or what, you couldn't drive that shit, right? And so, like, that period, like that whole transition into this new thing of masks and distance and curfews and shit like that, like, it kind of changed the way people live, obviously, how people use their resources, use whatever, and in most cases, it it actually, if you were using the, like, if you were using the challenge, or you viewed the whole COVID thing as a, not necessarily as a challenge, but as a, sort of like a situation you were gonna overcome, not necessarily a huge challenge. If you viewed it like that, like, and maybe, like, you were working, or you had some stuff going, you actually could have saved a lot and stuff like that, cut down on a lot of shit, right? So I feel like even now, for instance, like the clubs, the festivals, like that shit is kind of gone now, like, I mean, even people who used to love going to gigs, it's probably gonna, for some, it's gonna take a, some is gonna take a while for them to start going to gigs again. Like they kind of rebooted because they're now used to, like for me, for instance, Saturday is no different from Monday these days. More so that I don't work and stuff like that. Like I don't have a full-time job and stuff like that. So not that it's good that I don't work, but I mean, like, the time I get a job or something, I get to do something that kind of like engages me full time. Like, I will have adopted a totally sort of more natural lifestyle, like, like essentially what I'm trying to say, like, I'm kind of struggling to get this point. I hope you guys are getting this point, but what I'm trying to say is, it ushered in the age of authenticity, in the sense that, we used to be so used to regulating our emotions and everything through external things, like on a weekend, typically people on a weekend, if they're not going to work, they're most likely going to go to the bar or somewhere, go clubbing or do something like that. But ever since, like, even because actually in the third world here, out here in the third world, for those maybe in the States or in the UK, like, we kind of like still have those restrictions. Like, for instance, in Botswana here, we don't, the clubs are still closed, the bars are open, but no crowding at the bars. So if you were a person who used to party every weekend, now you kind of like, maybe, of course, you might have a few drinks at home, but like, it's different. It's no longer like, it used to be like a. I remember this thing when I was working at some point in my life. Maybe the weekend, like, you felt like you had to go out to, like it was a must or something, right? But ever since the whole COVID thing, man, like, even with what I see, with, even for me, with clothing and stuff like that, I see, like, now, like, I don't like, I'm like, with sneakers and everything, like, I'm okay with two pairs of sneakers, right? I don't need to get a whole bunch of, because, like, I've kind of like gotten a taste of that other dimension, because of that whole transition period, because it was a radical shift. And in a way, if you were woke to it, it should have benefited you in many ways, especially when you were maybe in a you were in a down situation already at that point. It should have, like, elevated you and made you a stronger person. Like, you know, like right now, I can literally soak in my depression and just loving my depression, because there is no such thing as depression now, when I look at it, like, some of those things were just those forces of me trying to regulate my emotions with external things, right? But now, because we spend so much time on a lockdown, sometimes spending a lot of time alone, you know, like, you get to introspect and reflect. So I'm not sure if this video, if you guys are getting me, but I hope you're getting me, right? But essentially, man, we gotta move on past this shit. And I think now we gotta cut down on a lot of shit, especially some of us who are, not so favored by the hierarchy at the moment, right? because society is a hierarchy and we need the hierarchy to progress, to aim for something, but of course the hierarchy keeps, if the gap is large, it's not so good, but essentially we got to live with it. And I think the best way for us at the bottom of the hierarchy to be able to do, at least to live happy, fulfilling, joyful lives, we need to start defining success, happiness, joy in our terms, like, why should you with a low income job want a Mercedes Benz, right? Why the hell should you? Not saying that you shouldn't want a car. Maybe you can get a normal car that you can afford. Why should you get a Mercedes Benz? You know, right? So we need to dumb shit down and start regulating our emotions and our minds from within, right? Like, let's cut shit regulating our emotions. Let's start regulating it from within. And this whole COVID thing, you'll see it's actually a blessing in disguise. It's a pity we lost so many lives and so many people lost it. Radical shift in the way they live, and you can only pray and hope those people stay strong, get better. The families that lost their loved ones, hope they're healing, and but essentially we gotta move on, guys. We gotta move on. You know, gotta move on. Live in the moment. The only moment you got is the current moment, right? So yeah, man, that was just an intro after a while, man. Been gone for a while, but hopefully I'll do a couple of vids, you know. But yeah, man, stay blessed, man. Peace out, peace out. It's the ball, nigga.